gosh, wrong hand. I nearly did it with the wrong hand. Hey guys! Hey guys, and welcome to today's life update. I love these videos because they are so chilled out. I can look like a chav, have my hair in a messy bun and feel like I don't give a shit and just chat to you guys. I have my tea, not in my normal life update cup because I left it in my mum's car. I had my detox tea in it one morning and then just left it there, and I finished my detox over a week ago. So it's just sort of sat there and I haven't moved it. So I watched my last life update video, which if you haven't seen it, you can go and watch it now by clicking on this picture. If you are on a mobile, then you can click the link in the description box and you can go watch it there, just to keep you updated with everything basically. I watched it yesterday because I needed to remind myself of what I said and what was going on so I know what to update you on in this one. So in the last one, to give you a recap, I basically told you that, well, it was 9 months ago and it was in November last year, so November of 2014, and I told you that recently my nan had passed away. My dog had passed away, my neighbour had committed suicide, we needed to find a new place to live, we had a certain amount of time to find somewhere to live, and if we didn't find anywhere then we had nowhere to live. We were struggling for money, I was struggling at college, so really it was a really happy video. So if I start with the whole home situation thing, our 12-month contract thing ended in Feb 2015, so earlier on this year, and we didn't realise that you could find somewhere else first, like another place to live, and then let your current landlord know. We thought that you do 12 months and if you don't want it then you have to find you have to let them know, and then you've got like a month or whatever to find somewhere. Or you just agree to another 12 months. We didn't realise you could just agree to like another month or another 2 months while you found somewhere else. We didn't know that until after we'd told them at the 12-month point that we weren't staying there another 12 months. So we had like a month to rush around and find somewhere. The landlord was really good actually and gave us like an extra month of living there, which that was nice of him considering we pay him. We struggled a lot to find somewhere and we found this house, which is it's about 10 minutes away in the car from our last one. It's in like a little village again, we're in a village again, and it's basically, there's a house this side which is an end house, us, and there's a house that side, so I have neighbours like either side of the walls. So you can hear, like everyone can hear everyone basically, which is kind of the downside of it. Anyway, we were so rushed to try and find somewhere that number one we could afford, number two would have the dogs, and number three we could move in as soon as. So anyway, this place was an absolute dump. Someone had just bought it, like our landlords had just bought it and they hadn't done it up or anything, and my mum was like, okay, well we'll decorate it. So basically she covered the cost of decorating it, which I guess we shouldn't have, but we needed somewhere to live so we didn't have much choice. So my mum's bought all the new carpets and everything, and the wallpaper, and we spent a couple of weeks doing up every room, wallpapering it, getting all the old stuff off and painting it, and oh my god, I was so knackered. I remember like posting about it on Instagram all the time saying I wasn't home till like 1 and then I had work and I had to keep doing that each night. Eventually, of course, we moved in, and this is my new room. I have this cupboard thing, like the stairs are underneath there, so it's a really awkward wide cupboard. Well, it's not really a cupboard, is it? It's more of a hole which should have been made into a cupboard by the landlords. Anyway, I didn't have a wardrobe in my old house because they had built-in wardrobes in my room, so now I have, well, if I show it you, it goes up there, look. So we sort of made it, me and my mum, wallpapered it. Oh my god, what have we done? We wallpapered it and made it into a wardrobe. So it's my wardrobe because I don't actually own any. So yeah, my room is still, like I still haven't showed you guys my room and it's a bit of a mess. Should I just show you anyway? Okay, so this side, Oh my gosh. It goes from the door, okay? As you come in, there's a radiator here which has my towel on it. I have my crap on the back of the door. This room, I will say, is a lot smaller than my other one, and I've really struggled with storage. I actually bought these Expedit shelving thingies from IKEA, and the Expedit itself was about £40, and then I had to buy the doors, which were £8 each, so it's really expensive. And then on the top I have my perfume, photos, alarm clock, general junk, and my light. And then behind me I have my bed that I had in my old house, and then I have little puggies and little Frenchies on the wall. And then going across we have my wardrobe, followed by a shoe rack. And then I believe this is probably the outline of next door's fire or something, their fireplace. So I have this bit sticking out. And then on here is a mess, I'm so sorry. It's like a desk that isn't going to last forever. It's one that I can take up and put away. And then moving across, oh my god, down here are my Alex drawers. There's one underneath this desk as well. And then I have the larger Alex drawer here. I can't actually see what's on the screen anymore. And then if I bring you back up, sorry, crotch shot. Over here, my god, can you see it or not, is my TV. And then the window, like that's it. Like on camera this room probably looks so small, but it is actually quite spacious. Like I think it's enough room. But I have decluttered a load of stuff, so I've been working hard on putting stuff on eBay and things like that. So thank you to the people that bought. My eBay link is actually in my description box from now on, so just check it periodically, and if there's anything you want, then, you know, bid on it. I'm not forgetting my tea. Again, I always do this. Okay, so moved into the house, that's good. What else did I do? I did my first year at college. Well, I was supposed to only do 1 year at college. I'm doing a level 4 AAT course, which is proving to be quite difficult and tricky. Halfway through, I actually panicked and told them I wanted to do it over 2 years. So I have to go back in September basically, and then do another year. So I don't feel like I did that well actually in my first year. I felt like there was so much shit going on. I mean, if you think about it, I started that course in September of 2013. No, what am I talking about? September of 2014. So I was just not in a very good place. Like my nan died, my dog died, there was just so much crap going on in the house, worried about not having anywhere to live, and I feel like it just all weighed me down, and just, I don't know. And like with my hair, this might sound really ridiculous, but with my hair being really short and like I felt unattractive, it made me really like unconfident being at college. Like I would feel so uncomfortable sitting in a room with people because I would feel like they're just looking at me. I wouldn't speak to anyone, I wouldn't say anything, I wouldn't put my hand up, you know. I feel like I'm too old for that. And that's probably hindered me quite a lot. So this year, hopefully, I'm going to complete it and it'll all be good, and I don't know, I just need to try really, really hard this year because I still have quite a few exams left. So on a similar note to college, I probably told you in older videos that I was really trying to get a job in an accountant's or something like that so I could start getting on with my accountancy career. I was working as a payroll assistant for a recruitment company, and like, to be honest, I didn't really like it. The money was okay, like they kept putting up my pay, which is great. I only worked Monday to Friday. Thursday I was at college, and then Friday I had off, so I had a long weekend, which was lovely. But I didn't really like it there. Bosses wise, they were a bit like unprofessional, like it was their first business. And I was like one of their longest employees, and I was there like 9 months or something. I think I was their longest employee after a couple of months. So I don't know, it just didn't really feel very professional, and it wasn't helping me with my AAT. When I first went for the interview, they were like, yeah, okay, we can help you learn things with accountancy and things like that, and they can't because everything that's done with their accounts is external. So it didn't help me at all. So I started looking for another job. I think I was applying for ages and there was just nothing sort of coming back, and I was like almost ready to just give up. And then I got an email off an accountant saying that they had my CV from 2013 and could I come in for an interview. I was like, wow, what the fuck? How mad is that? Like, I didn't think they kept your CVs, and especially not, they wouldn't look that later on down the line. So I actually went for an interview there. I didn't tell the place I was at, obviously, because they would have killed me. I went for an interview and then decided that I was going to have a trial day there. So a few weeks later I had a trial day on a Friday when I was off from my other job. And I enjoyed it. Like, my head was like exploding, but it was good. I was nervous, but it was good. And he paid me for that day. My new boss now paid me for that day. So that was good. And then I had to hand in my notice, and my old bosses were horrific to me. I had a male and a female boss. The female boss was more understanding, and she was like, yeah, okay, we knew we weren't really helping you with this accountancy thing and we were holding you back. Which is probably why they upped my pay, actually, thinking about it. But the male boss just took it. He was so childish about it, and he made me feel like this big, calling me, I think he was trying to do it funnily, but it really upset me to the point where I just wanted to cry and go home and say fuck you, like, bye. But I had like nearly £1,000 worth of holiday pay accrued, and I wanted to make sure I got it, basically. So he called me a traitor. He was like slagging off my new bosses that he never knew anything about. I don't know, it was just really, really shit, and I had to put up with that for 2 weeks. I was only supposed to give 1 week's notice, but I gave him 2 weeks because I knew they'd struggle to find someone. I'm so glad to be out there. I finished that job on the Wednesday. They gave me flowers and a H&M gift card, which was really quite sweet. I went home, I started my new job on the Monday, and my head felt like it was exploding with all the information just coming in. But I've been there. I started there on the 13th of April this year. So just after the new tax year. So I had all my holiday pay from my other job, and I got like heavily taxed on it because it was the first week of the new tax year. So I still haven't had that back, so tax rebate in April, woo! Started my new job, I love it. I think I've been there like 9 months. April, no, that's not right, is it? April, May, June, July, August, 5 months. My maths is not very good. And I work in an accountant. I went from being paid weekly to being paid monthly, which is one of the hardest things ever. Pay wise, it's a little bit less per hour than my old job, but I do a lot more hours, so I get a lot more money. Like, I work full time now, which makes it a bit harder with college, I think, because I don't have like that Friday off to just get it all in my head. So hopefully I'm going to be able to like tackle college and work well this next year. But no, I'm enjoying it. I'm learning like so much that I wish I could have learnt years and years ago. So I'm glad to just finally be working in accountants. Like, it's just nice to be somewhere like professional, actually feel like you're valued. Really cringe, but feel valued. So yeah, that was in April. In May was my birthday. I turned 21. I didn't really do anything because I'm not really that big on 21. I don't drink. I don't really like going out clubbing. I've got such an itchy nose, I'm sorry. I don't go out clubbing. I literally went to work, came home, had a load of family over, had a massive Indian takeaway, which was yummy, and that was it. And then the next day was mine and Chris's 2-year anniversary. Can't remember what we did. Can't remember. Probably not much. We didn't do presents because we were going on holiday at the end of May. The day after Chris's birthday, actually. So in May, it's always my birthday, our anniversary, and then Chris's birthday, which is on the 29th of May. He's 22 now. And then on the 30th, we went on our first couple holiday. So we went to Fuerteventura, and the specific place was Caleta de Fust, or Caleta de Fust. I might be saying it wrong, you know me. And what I'm gonna do is show you some photos from that. Like, it was so good. It's the first holiday I've ever been on abroad without family, with a boy, as a couple. Like, it was just full of new things for me. And thankfully it all went really well. Like, we had such a good time. What did we do? We went on some kind of trike tour thing. We had days at the beach, we had days at the pool, we went to a zoo, which was really quite good until like my feet hurt. We went out for loads of meals. Oh, there was just so many good memories. We had like one bad day. Because I'm quite like chubby and I wore shorts and I was sweating, obviously my legs rub together when I walk because they're chunky. Like, there's no gap, there's no thigh gap here, no thigh gap. They rub together, which means I start to chafe. I was really suffering, so I was in a mood, as you can imagine, because I was walking like really wide leg, like trying to walk like that, and Chris was taking the piss. On the very first night, I actually wore stupid wedges, like high wedges. We walked for probably miles trying to find the town. I like blistered all of the bottom of my foot, which then popped, which then was cut open for the rest of the holiday, and it just hurt every time I walked on it. So I was moaning about my feet, moaning about my red raw thighs, and then Chris was in a mood because I'd decided that we should go to this place that they advertised as having 2 miles of shops, and it was shit. All the shops are the same touristy shops over and over again, and we had like 6 hours before the coach was going to come and pick us up. So he was in a mood, I was in a mood, we were clashing all day. That day was just so shit, and like we both ended up crying when we got back, and we had to sit and have a talk and sort everything out, and then our last day was much better, so oh, yeah. Then I went on holiday with my family because my landlords were redoing our bathroom, so I had to get out of the house basically, and my mum booked a caravan in Wales, so me, my sister, my mum, my niece and my nephew shared a teeny tiny caravan. Oh, and the 2 dogs. I have never had a more stressful week in my entire life. I love my niece and nephew, but oh my gosh, my patience, I found out, is like this much with kids, because they just get their own way so much. And I was so tired because I shared a room with my nephew. I would wake up to like dinosaurs attacking my face, and like I would wake up as soon as he would wake up in the night to check he's okay, and he fell out of bed one night and like I had to kind of grab him before he like fell on the floor. The bed was ridiculously uncomfy. It was like a nightmare holiday that I just wanted to go home basically. So that was a week off work that was wasted. I don't know, like I feel like I needed another holiday after that holiday. It was a nightmare. And then also, quite recently, about 4 weeks ago maybe, my granddad actually passed away. Now, my granddad had been in hospital for 2 months prior because he needed an operation on his heart. I'm not entirely sure what he needed, but he needed an operation. The NHS was going to pay for it. Now, please bear in mind, my nan and granddad have paid for private medical care their whole life. The NHS was like, yeah, we'll pay for it. We put him into hospital. He had fluid all over his body which needed to be drained before he could have an operation. It took a few weeks for the fluid to go. You know, like his legs were like massive, and he's like the skinniest of men. And then they started telling us that he wasn't getting the operation. And my dad was having meetings with like whoever's in charge of the hospital in Birmingham, and like trying to get it sorted, and it came to like, basically the gist of it is they didn't want to spend that money on an old man that's probably going to die anyway. Now this really infuriates me, because obviously it's someone that I care about, someone that you, not you specifically, but you have, there is a chance he could live if you pay, as in the NHS, for this operation to give him a bit more time. to give him a bit more time with us for him to enjoy the last few months, years of his life. They just said no. Said no, and the only thing we could do is wait for him to die. So my granddad obviously became really depressed. He didn't want to do anything. He was just in hospital for these 2 months. We went to visit him. He wanted to die. And I've never been really close with my granddad because he's deaf. And so every time I would speak to him, I know he would just have like a blank face. So I know he didn't have a clue what I was saying to him. So eventually I just stopped talking to him, which I kind of wish I hadn't, but I don't know how to communicate because of him being deaf. Like, he's still here, he had hearing aids, he wasn't like deaf, but he couldn't hear me, and so I found it I felt really awkward to try and talk to him basically, and we went to see him sort of the 2 weeks before he died. He was getting worse and worse, getting iller and iller. He was on tablets which would help his liver, but in turn would help his heart, but in turn would kill his liver, which would end his life. He wanted to die. He asked us basically how it would be so easy for someone to end his life and why couldn't they do it. He was like, we were all sat around his bed. Chris was there as well. Chris came. And he was like, you all don't need to sit around here and wait for me. Like, it's boring, isn't it? Like, and we were sat there like, what? Granddad, we want to spend time with you. He's like, yeah, but it's boring. You should just go home and do something fun. And like, I mean, what do you say to that? Like, no. So yeah, we tried to spend as much time with him as possible. He was like, you know, I've asked the nurses to just put something in my drip, but they won't do it. He was like, you know, I've got loads of stuff at home that'd finish the job off, but I can't have it. Like, he basically wanted to die, and that's a really, really hard thing to hear. Your family member ask you. So I actually got the news one morning. I woke up on a Friday and my dad had texted me to say that Granddad had died, and I burst into tears. Like, I knew it was coming, but when it actually happens, like, it's a shock, like, because immediately I now have no living grandparents. I now have no grandparents to go and see at Christmas, no grandparents to talk about my life, and the thing that bothers me the most is that I've got no grandparents to invite to my wedding. I feel quite sad really, because my nan and my granddad got to meet my sister's children, my niece and nephew, and my nan and granddad will never ever get to meet my children. Which it sucks the most for me actually. And I know people keep saying to me, oh, they'll be watching you, things like that, but to be honest, I really don't know if I believe in anything like that. I'm not religious. I'm comforting myself in thinking that, you know, yay, you're back together as a couple, but really, like, I do still feel like alone, and it's still so strange to me that you can have people in your life and then one day they're just not there, and all that's left is their belongings, and it's strange. So like, we had to go through all of their stuff. After my nana died, no one touched it because, I don't know, no, I think my granddad didn't want anyone to do anything with her things, so we had to go through all of my nan and granddad's stuff, and basically what we've got to try and do is sell everything, and then sell the house as well, and what gets, after it's all been sold, it all goes in a pot basically, and then as per my granddad's will, it gets split between myself, my sister, my dad and my aunt. So yeah, it's really, really stressful. Because it's just like, it's just not a nice situation to be in. Like, I don't know, I'm not particularly that close with my dad, definitely not close with my auntie. My dad and my auntie don't get on, my sister and my aunt don't really get on, and like, for us four to be in a house and try to work together, you can imagine how stressful that is, because like, I don't know, it's shit because like my aunt didn't want to do anything, she couldn't cope. I didn't particularly want to be there, but it needed to be done. My sister, of course, same as me. Me and my sister work together, okay. I get on with her the best because like I've lived with her and everything. So yeah, it's been really, really stressful. Work on the house has kind of stopped at the moment. I've been trying to like get stuff on eBay to try and sort it out money-wise. So yeah, it's just turning a bit nasty. When money's involved, people get nasty, unfortunately. And I just want it all done, and I want my family to leave me alone. I reached my 2 years of pixie growth, which you may or may not have seen the video yet, depending on when I upload it. I'm going to be putting in hair extensions, actually. I need to dye my hair, which is why I have hair dye. this is a brand I always use, and I accidentally used the one darker than this for ages, and I wondered why my hair was going like black. So I have this one, and then I have extensions, which are these, which I've just plaited to keep them nice. It's like a hair necklace. So there's a bit of a difference, as you can see. I have to do it. Now here there are 300 because I panicked and was like, what if I don't have enough? And these are supposedly, I think these are supposed to be 1 gram strands, but with the bead I imagine they're like 1.8 or 1. No, not 1 point, I mean 0.7 or 0.8 of a gram. But there's a lot of hair here, and I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to do this. The plan was before college, and I think I start college in the 3rd week of September, so soon. I still don't know how to drive, which is quite embarrassing to admit. I'm 21, I don't know how to drive. I'm not one of these people who come from a family who pay for everything for them. My mum and dad split up. I want to do like a separate video about my childhood and things like that. But basically my mum and dad have split up. My dad has lived a life full of money with no children. My mum has lived a poor life and given me and my sister everything that she possibly could. But if I want to learn how to drive, I have to pay for it myself. And if I want a car, I'm going to have to pay for it myself. So I'm saving up for driving lessons, and I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to start them. And I'm also saving for a car. So hopefully by the time I've done my driving lessons and passed, I'll have enough to just buy a car, which would be nice. But yeah, so it's a lot of saving, and I would love to go on holiday next year, but I don't think I'm going to. In terms of YouTube, I am loving doing videos again. I feel like because of everything that's been going on, I've just been so stressed. But yeah, in terms of YouTube, I have updated, I told you on my Facebook and Instagram, my description box info. You'll now find extra links and things, and also discount codes and discount links which you can click on. So they'll be updated as soon as something new comes along, so just keep checking them before you buy anything. I'm having a problem with my video editor at the moment. The one I use is Coral Video Studio. Now I forked out so much money for this camera. It's a HD camera, so when I'm recording it looks wonderful. I look glowy and fabulous. And then by the time I've imported it onto my computer and onto a video, I'm editing it in Coral Video Studio, it looks like shit. So when it uploads, it doesn't look HD at all. It looks like a webcam. So I'm not, if someone can help or give me any tips on a video editor or something, I don't know, I've been using it for years and I think it might be time for a new one. I don't have an Apple computer, I have a normal Windows laptop. So yeah, please help. And I'm thinking that after the new year I want to give my channel a brand new look. I don't know, I haven't thought about it too much, but I just want it to completely change for the better. But yeah, that's all I'll say for now, because I'm not entirely sure what I'm talking about. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. This was such a nice video. Thank you for listening to me. And I will try and do these a bit more often because they are my favourite type of videos, along with Get Ready With Me's. So hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, links to my Facebook, Instagram and Twitter are down below, so if you want to come over and follow me, that would be awesome. Apart from that, I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.